Biological men shouldn't be playing women's sports. Europe should pay for their defense.
There's no point in saying biological men. That's the only kind of man there can be. There's no point in saying biological man or biological woman. There's only men and women. It's a waste of time to say a biological man. There's only men and women. What's going on, guys? Matthew back again, this time for another political video. And Bill Maher has finally gotten back with his news on his trip to the White House. And so let's get into it.
Okay, so meet up in person. Maybe it'll be different. Spoiler alert, it was. First good sign, before I left for the Capitol, I had my staff collect and print out this list of almost 60 different insulting epithets that the president has said about me. Things like stupid, dummy, lowlife dummy, sleazebag, sick, sad, stone cold crazy. Really a dumb guy, fired like a dog, his show is dead. There's 60. I brought this to the White House because I wanted him to sign it, which he did. Which he did with good humor. And I know as I say that, millions of liberal sphincters just tightened. Oh my God, Bill, are you gonna say something nice about him? What I'm gonna do is report exactly what happened. You decide what you think about it. And if that's not enough pure Trump hate for you, I don't give a. And he gave me a bunch of hats, but he didn't ask me to take a picture in one, which I appreciated. The guy I met is not the person who the night before the dinner tweeted a bunch of nasty crap about how he thought this dinner was a bad idea and what a deranged asshole I was. I read it and thought, oh, what a lovely way to welcome someone to your house. But when I got there, that guy wasn't living there. Now, does Trump want respect? Of course, who doesn't? My friend said to me, what are you going to wear to the White House? I said, I don't know, but I'm not going to dress like Zelensky, I'll tell you that. But, okay. Just for starters, he laughs. I'd never seen him laugh in public, but he does, including at himself. And it's not fake. Believe me, as a comedian of 40 years, I know a fake laugh when I hear it. And I thank you for them.
By the way, I don't think it really matters. As long as you're an American, I think you can kind of wear whatever you want to the White House. I would wear a suit just because I think that would be a privilege to go to the White House. But they were trying to get on Elon and Kid Rock for what they were wearing when they went to the Oval Office. Kid Rock was wearing this very flamboyant red outfit, and Elon was wearing his usual, whatever he wears, long t-shirts or whatever. But it's different when you're Zelensky and you're not an American, and you're coming over here as a leader of another country asking for billions of dollars. Because the White House belongs to us, the people. So we can kind of show up there wearing whatever we want. But if you're coming over here asking for our money, and you're not even an American, yeah, you need to wear a suit.
At one point, we were walking through it is an amazing tour of the whole house. And I don't remember exactly what we were talking about, but it must have been something with the 2020 election, because I know he used the word lost. And I distinctly remember saying, wow, I never thought I'd hear you say that. He didn't get mad. He's much more self-aware than he lets on in public. Look, I get it. It doesn't matter who he is at a private dinner with a comedian. It matters who he is on the world stage. I'm just taking as a positive that this person exists, because everything I've ever not liked about him was, I swear to God, absent, at least on this night with this guy. Bob, Kid Rock, told me the night before, he said, if you want to get a word in edgewise, you're going to have to cut him off. He'll just go on. Not at all. I've had so many conversations with prominent people who are much less connected, people who don't look you in the eye, people who don't really listen because they just want to get to their next thing, people whose response to things you say just doesn't track, like, what? None of that with him. And he mostly steered the conversation to, what do you think about this? I know, your mind is blown, so's mine.
But Trump fans like me, we've known for a long time that there's business Trump and then there's showman Trump. There's the Trump that shows up on stage at his rallies, and then there's the Trump at the White House talking to Schumer and Nancy Pelosi. If you remember, in his first term, he did a meeting with them in front of the press, which made them feel very uncomfortable because they're not used to having to show their true colors in front of people, but Trump has no problem doing it. So there's that business Trump, and then there's showman Trump. I don't know why it takes some people so long to understand that. It took Bill Maher actually having to sit down and have dinner with Trump to understand it, where people like me can just watch it and understand it. I don't really understand that. I think it kind of comes from a lot of closed-mindedness in the past. Now, obviously, because they've been defeated so badly, now Bill Maher is more open-minded, which I do appreciate, and I'm really glad that he did this dinner.
The border did need to be controlled. I'm glad the cops are getting their morale back. DEI had gone too far. Biological men shouldn't be playing women's sports. Europe should pay for their defense.
There's no point in saying biological men. That's the only kind of man there can be. There's no point in saying biological man or biological woman. There's only men and women. It's a waste of time to say a biological man. There's only men and women.
And honestly, I voted for Clinton and Obama, but I would never feel comfortable talking to them the way I was able to talk with Donald Trump. That's just how it went down. Make of it what you will. Me, I feel it's emblematic of why the Democrats are so unpopular these days. He was even okay when I checked him on the orangutan lawsuit. He was. I know. He said to Dana White, you know, Bill said my father was an orangutan, and I really love my father. And I said, well, Mr. President, I did that because I didn't like what you were doing regarding Obama's birth origins. I thought that was low. Again, no anger, just a little smile as if to say, yeah, I get it. The most surreal part of the whole night was when I got home. I flew back right after the dinner, and I'm in bed watching 60 Minutes from the night before. And there's Trump in one of their stories, standing at a podium in a room that looked to me like one of the rooms and places we'd just been in. And he's ranting, disgusting, you're a terrible person. And I'm like, who's that guy? What happened to Glinda the Good Witch? And why can't we get the guy I met to be the public guy? And I'm not saying it's our responsibility to do that. It's not. I'm just reporting exactly what I saw over 2.5 hours. I went into the mine, and that's what's down there. A crazy person doesn't live in the White House. A person who plays a crazy person on TV a lot lives there, which I know is fucked up. It's just not as fucked up as I thought it was.
No, it's not. No, it's not. And if I can figure that out, what, almost 10 years ago, I was like 23, and I knew that then. How do you not know that? Get out of your bubble, which I guess he's getting out of his bubble now. It's about time. Okay, so that's the video. I like Bill Maher. I like that he's willing to come to the other side. We all know the truth, which is that had Trump been defeated against Kamala, this whole like coming over to the other side, having dinner, that wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have happened. I'm not going to try to be too positive and be naive and say like, oh yeah, if Kamala had won, we'd still have this Bill Maher that we have right now. I don't think we would. I think it was good that he went. I think it was good that Trump or did Trump invite him? I think it was Kid Rock that set up the whole thing. But I guess I can take these out now. But I'm glad that he went. I'm glad they had a good dinner. I'm glad that he reported honestly that Trump isn't crazy. Bill can try to make the left calm down a little bit. But you know what's going to happen. All the crazies are going to remain crazy. And now they're probably going to start calling Bill Maher a Nazi. But anyway, that's the video, guys. Let me know what you thought about the video in the comments below. Let me know if there's any context that I'm missing, if there's anything that you disagree with or agree with. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys next time. Take it easy.